This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
And boom!
Common man, no show prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, begins a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
You like that? You like that?
You know, sometimes when you practice, you'll set up chairs. You know, and you run through chairs just to show zones and stuff. The Viking defense looks like it's chairs.
That Favre that I'm tired of Brett Favre. NFL's nothing but a racket. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? What are you talking about? Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
You stay classy, San Diego.
You're breaking up, Bob.
You're breaking up.
Cam Dantzler, what are you doing?
We're the state of hockey, and I think that proves it, so.
Yes! No! Yes! No! Yes! No! Stop! Let's go.
Hello. Okay, hold on.
I've seen enough out of Cousins, Paul. Put him on ice.
A dog with a note in his mouth should be able to sell those ratings.
I'm going to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
Nuts and bolts, we got screwed.
How about the cardiac cats?
How about that?
Huh?
Yeah, they gave me a heart attack the other night.
He's the clown from Brown.
Yeah, we know.
He's the fourth in the North.
Maybe we should
This
change
is
that.
the common man, Dan Cole.
That would be me. I am the common man. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. And if I'm supposed to be somebody else, why do I look like me? Ack, a dack, and dack, act you and yours here till 3. I'm unprepared, uninformed, and unapologetic about it. If you want poised, professional, and polished, stick around. 3 o'clock, Big Ticket and JG. There ain't nobody better. As I say, we're here till 3. Tennessee being part of the we. It's common in Tennessee. Mark Rosen will join us a little early today. He has
Oh, boy.
I think he's got something to do, so he's going to be here 1:30 to 2:30, I believe. So a little of this, a little of that, with the emphasis on the latter. There's plenty to get to today. Quarterback controversy continues to swirl here locally. I'm getting inundated with emails, people trying to talk Tennessee and Common Man out of their take on what the Vikings should do. With the Wild, you win some, you lose some. The Minnesota Timberwolves destroy a high school team, or maybe it was some pro team from China or something. A couple of upsets last night in Monday Night Football. The Bears come up with a victory, and we have a jam-packed leaderboard in the NFC North, and a spectacular opening game to the NLCS last night. So many topics to get to. I'm not sure where to begin. Let's spin the Wheel of Topics.
Wheel of Topics!
Commons golf game.
And it's really good right here.
What'd you shoot today?
75.
Wow.
Where'd we play?
I had an experience that was not unlike that of a PGA Tour player. Played at Big Boy Course, Baker National.
Where'd you hit it on one?
Right up the gut.
How far from the green?
To the middle of the green, I had one. Pin was like middle left or front left, and to get there, I probably had to hit it 190.
Second shot?
I hit it 190.
Then what?
I two-putted for par. Hit it to 4 feet on 2 for birdie on par 3. Had to hit a 6-footer to save bogey on the number 1 handicapped hole number 3. Then on 4 par 5, I had 100 yards in. And I still, as I've improved my swing, it's almost I've gone from like a caterpillar to a butterfly or a tadpole to a frog, or is it a toad? My game is just metamorphosized. That's a word. And but I pulled it left on the fringe, 2-putt from there. Hit it on the par 4, 5th to 25 feet, 2-putted there. Number 6 is a terrific par 5. It's like if I were to name that hole, I would call it the snake, because it's kind of a snaky fairway. There's Lake Spurzum on the right, and I hit it into the water. Took my drop, hit a hybrid up to about 100 yards. Hit it a little long, so I was just in the fringe. And I hit a par putt that was way too aggressive. I went about 8 or 10 feet by, made it to save bogey, really critical. Par 3, for those that have played the golf course before, it's a 3-tiered green, lower, middle, and back. It was in the front, and I pulled that shot as well with an 8-iron. But then I 2-putted from the fringe, a terrific little 2-putt. Stayed at 2 over, and then I went bogey to finish the front side. On the back, number 10, 111 yards, hit pitching wedge to 2 inches. Tap in birdie. Next hole, 5-iron from 165 to about 10 feet, just missed that. Made par, 2-putted the par 3 for par.
Pitchfork.
It was more than a pitchfork. It was really good. Then I hit a 7-iron into the par 3 12th, made par. Parred 13 as well from the fringe. Hit a 7-iron in. Then I bogeyed number 14. 50 is where it all started. This is where I was in awe of myself. 169 yards to a left pin. That's kind of drops down into a little lower level. I hit it up on top. I had 42 feet all downhill like a ski jump, and I made it from 42 feet. Just a perfect putt. Just trickled it to the top, and then it just trundled in. Next hole, par 4, 327. I block it right out of nowhere. I don't even know where it's going. I've never been over there. There's a bunch of trees there. Then there's hundreds of leaves, but guess what? I found it. Didn't even have to do leaf rule. So then I tried to hit a low hybrid under the trees, and I hit a terrible shot. It trickled up by the cart path. So now I take the drop from the cart, right up against the cart path. Take the drop from the cart path. I'm hit my 3rd shot on a par 4 from 105. Hit it to 2 feet to save par. 2-putt par from 15 feet on 17. 18, I hit it into the greenside bunker left to a front left pin. Hit a good bunker shot, but I hit it too far. It's 33 feet past. I got 33 feet coming downhill. And then there's a little bump just about a foot before the hole. So you got to take it right. It's got to hit that bump and fall in. And it does exactly that for par. I can't play any better than I played today, I don't think. And I even had, like I say, a couple of poor shots. Now I made some... the putt I made on 15 and the putt I made on 18, I could have sat there all day and tried again and again, never made the same putt again. So, I'm not going to suggest that I should have shot, 70, but I also hit some really bad approach shots. And so I knew my best golf was still in front of me. But I couldn't convince myself that because doubts, not only were doubts creeping in, they were attached to my hip. I had doubts I'd ever play well again. And now the rest of the story. So I know you were interested.
I'm happy for you.
Well, and I could see that you were hanging on every shot, every description.
Well, I feel bad because you just had, one of the best rounds you've had all year, and I'm about to make this about me.
Oh.
I'm about to change it.
Oh,
because when you're talking about Baker National, it reminded me of number 18 on Baker National. I was playing with you.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
Okay.
And it's a longer par 4, 18, if I recall, kind of uphill a little bit, right?
Down. It's an elevated tee box down into a valley and then back up.
I feel like I had like a 175-yard shot.
That would sound about right.
And, lasered it, pured it, but it's kind of a blind green, so you can't see where it goes. I go up, advance up there ahead of you and whoever else you were playing with at the time, probably Pierre or someone.
Right.
And I noticed my ball's in the hole. But so I hold out for eagle. I didn't see it go in because it was a blind, it's uphill. Yeah. But then I felt like I was robbed of the fanfare of, because I had to wait, a minute or two for you and your playing partner to get up there. Yeah. And at that point, you didn't see it go in.
No.
You didn't see me, my reaction the first time. So I just felt like I was robbed of a little, the proper fanfare I deserved.
Did you fist pump? Because you did when you hit that 30-footer for a 10. When you made, I think it was.
That might have been a more challenging shot.
Yeah.
Given my mental state at that point, I think that was a more important shot.
I don't recall the shot. I wish I did. It was a long time.
Well, yeah, because you guys didn't even see the shot. Right. You guys were on a different side of the fairway.
And I'm also only, all I care about is my own selfish golf game, as a listener once pointed out. So, so it was good. And this week I'm going to play Les Bolstad for the last time. Of course, have you played Bolstad?
Yes, I have.
We've played it together, I think.
Yes.
Maybe. They're closing Bolstad. The university, in all their infinite wisdom, have decided the golf course does not serve a purpose anymore. So now they want to sell it because they can get a lot of money for housing development. From what I've been told by people that know, that's not the greatest place to be building because there's a lot of, lowlands and marshes and this and that. So I don't know, let's face it, as far as a Big Ten golf course where you play events, you can't. They only play 6,200 yards from the back tees, and these kids, you got to play 7,500 now. So I guess it has, to that extent, outlived its use. I think the university, their home course is Windsong Farms. I think that's where they travel when they do Big Ten tournaments here. When they're the home team. But it's a fun golf course. It's challenging. It's always in good shape, and I want to play it one last time before they. Because I think this is it. I think next year. I think there were efforts to try to prevent the sale, and maybe they still will. I don't know, but so I'm going to try to get out there, and then I'm out. The Tenant Fitzgerald set sail on Thursday and Friday. And again, have you come up with any plans for it yet? Because yesterday you said you hadn't even given it a thought yet.
Yeah, I did book Pete Bursich for Friday at 12:30.
All right, Bursich, the Vikings interior decorator. Will you ask him what, how much, if he had a real hand in helping doing the interior decorating at the new Winter Park?
Sure.
That opened a few years ago, because I'm sure he's had a lot to do with that. The former linebacker and interior decorator, the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings. I do want to, again, Peek at the Purple's coming up next. And is it called belaboring? Belabor. I think that means, that's a woman that's just about to give birth. She'd be in labor. And I also think belaboring is like when you keep, you just keep talking about the same thing but I'm getting all sorts of emails. I'd like to say hundreds.
Hundreds?
But it's not hundreds. It's not even dozens, but it's several. But I just want to explain, I think, what you and I might be thinking, at least what I'm thinking about the Wentz, Brosmer, McCarthy, if you want to call it quarterback controversy or not. So we'll do that, plus plenty more to get to. Rosen comes in at 1:30. Intend to be, you have a keyword for our national cash contest.
The Fan and two men in a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks for their national cash contest. Just enter the keyword money at KFAN.com right now for your shot at winning. That keyword is money. Enter now at KFAN.com. Remember that one teacher who made a difference, who believed in us, challenged us, or just made learning fun?
Yep.
Now's your chance to say thank you in a big way with iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding public school teacher who's gone above and beyond for their students to win $5,000 to stock their classroom with whatever they need. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Legendary one waiting in the wings. He'll join us at 1:30, half hour early. Has some business he needs to take care of after 2:30. Time now for Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. If you've just purchased an EV to take advantage of that $7,500 tax rebate before it expired, you need to install a 240-volt outlet for a level 2 charger in your garage. Let the pros at Affordable Electric install it for you. With Affordable Electric's expertise, you'll rest easy, knowing that your home's electrical system can handle the increased load and that safety standards are met. Visit affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com, and always keep in mind, Affordable Electric is, yikes, yowza, it's shockingly affordable. I've got a number of emails to be people saying, and they're phrased differently. Some are, I'm really not trying to change your mind, but I don't think you're actually approaching the topic from the right angle. And you're not telling the other side of the story and this and that. And it's all from people who are saying, I want to see what we have in our young quarterback. And I understand that you're seeing what you have in Drake May, and you're seeing what you have in who's the kid for Washington? Daniels,
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, you're seeing all these young quarterbacks
Michael Penix,
play football, and they're all they have their ups and their downs, their highs and their lows, and you're getting a feel for them, especially when they're still under the rookie contract. And everybody wants to see the same thing, and they all are just ready to they're already ready. They are writing off the season already. As if,
which is bizarre.
Well, if he's good, that's great. If he can come back like against Philadelphia and play like he did in the fourth quarter against the Bears, we'll probably win a lot of games and make postseason. But he had 7 other quarters in which he was terrible. And what I tell these emailers, I respond. If you email me at comment@KFAN.com, I will respond. And I say, it doesn't matter what I think Tennessee thinks or you think. It matters what the football team thinks. They play games to win games. Yes, they want to break in a quarterback, and if they can get the best of both worlds, if you can break in a quarterback and win some games and make postseason, that's wonderful. What we've seen so far is a quarterback that's not up to the task of winning football games this season. At least he hasn't for 7 of the 8 quarters. Now, it's a very small sample size, and maybe watching Wentz this past couple of weeks. I mean, remember, he watched Darnold all of last year, and that didn't work out so well as far as translated to him playing really well right out of the gate. I think the kid's got a chance to be a good quarterback. And somebody was, another emailer was saying, Tennessee keeps talking about, well, we have plenty of time to see what he's like, but once we get to that point of the season, if we're out of it, let's say, well, we're out of it, let's go. Now it's going to be, you're not going to really see him under situations in which they're critical games and pressure situations. And yeah, I guess you could make that argument, but at the end of the day, it's what O'Connell thinks and the coaching staff. That's what matters. And just trying to read between the lines, yesterday he was very non-committal about who to play. Very non-committal. Mm-hmm. And if they were indeed, if he did, and non-committal to the point where he didn't even say, oh, well, if JJ passes all the physical tests that we have, if his ankle is 100%, he's starting. Case closed. He won't even say that. He's just going, well, we got to kind of see how it goes here. Because and he did say in his news conference yesterday, he has his public stance on the quarterback situation. Because again, these guys do play like it's World War II. They're planning the Battle of Verdun. They don't want to tip their hand at all. But I just, as a fan, I want to win games. And this team went 14-3 last year, and they added to their offensive and defensive lines in the interior of both because they felt like they could win, and they could win now. And that's the way teams approach it until it's finally too late. Should the Bears have given up? Weren't they 0-2? Well, the Bears should have just given up, and tried playing some spare part guys, some new guys. No, you play to win football games, and that's just what I think they're going to do. I can listen to that argument, and I can even agree with it. I'd like to see McCarthy, but it's not up to us.
Well, and I should also add, you and I are both saying, hey, we'd like to see Carson Wentz that doesn't mean we're committing to him to the rest of the season.
Correct.
I am committing to him to the Philadelphia Eagles game, and then I will see what happens after that. So this idea that, well, you want Wentz to start means we're not going to see J.J. McCarthy until December, and by then those games might not matter. No, we could be committing to J.J. McCarthy on October 23rd. And you'd still have plenty. And like in the NFL, most of these games mean something, right? The Vikings, especially because they're 3-2, they would have to tank pretty bad to not have meaningful games in November, right? Like the last 2 weeks of the season might be meaningless, but most teams are kind of in the mix. And hey, a win or two here, we might have a chance at a wild card spot in beginning to mid-December. Where
we're at right now, it's Packers 3-1-1, Detroit 4-2, Vikings 3-2.
Yeah.
And the Bears 3-2. You're basically a half game out of first place.
We're probably tied for the last wild card spot right now.
Yeah, and yet I keep hearing from fans, I'm willing to sacrifice. Well, you're not the franchise. You don't speak for the entire fan base. You don't speak for the team, for the organization. And if that's the way you feel, that's great. I don't think you're going to get your wish. I think Wentz starts this week. Now, he may not. And McCarthy may step in and play really well. I'd love to see it. To be honest, I don't care who they start. To be honest, I think Wentz gives them the best chance to win this week.
Right now,
because what I saw with McCarthy, he was simply, did everybody not watch? He was simply awful for awful. He looked like he'd never played the position before. So if you expect that to change against Philadelphia, maybe it will. Philadelphia just lost 2 games in a row. They're on a bit of they're in a tizzy. They're struggling. A lot of teams. Look at the Bills last night. Bills lost to Atlanta. How about Deuce? Spread swing. He took Atlanta, and
he finally got one.
I mocked him unmercifully. Oh my gosh! On Thursday, spread swing. Atlanta won. Bears beat the Commanders. It changes every week.
It does.
And so, if you want to write off the season, and the Vikings end up going to the playoffs, you can't root for them. You're out. Because you're ready. You've already told me you're writing off. I've had
which I don't get.
I've had hundreds of emails of me telling people I've written off the season already. We're not going anywhere. Okay, well, if that's what you want to do, we might be committing to J.J. McCarthy at halftime of the Eagles.
And by the way, the pro J.J. McCarthy group, they all seemingly are saying we want to see what he has, as opposed to he gives us the best chance to win, and that's. When you're at 3-2, you need to give the quarterback that has the best chance of winning.
Yep.
And maybe it is JJ.
Maybe it is JJ. Absolutely. We'll have to wait and see. Peek at the purple. Brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Affordable-electric.com for all of your electrical needs. You're also looking for help to apprentice electrician and a journeyman electrician. Legendary one, Mark Rosen, joins us next. Common Man program on the Fan.
This football season, Bell Bank is giving one KFAN listener each week $1,000 to pay it forward to a charity of their choice. Just head over to KFAN.com, keyword contest to learn more and enter today. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest.
Couple 13-14 pastime comedies tend to be the legendary one. Mark Rosen is here. By the way, here's the $1 I owe you.
Well, thank you. It took you long enough to give me the. Well, you didn't.
Well, I was waiting for the
Brewers to win.
Yeah, the Brewers. You had totally written the Brewers off.
Well,
you did not think they would make the NLCS, and that's why I made the bet. Because here's what I've learned about you: you still got that
kid.
Well, no, you have that TV mentality.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, what happens is the consultants tell the TV people. You have to feel the pain of Minnesotans and the joy, and you have to be like you're the good. That's why they always called CCO Radio the good neighbor. You're just like their neighbor.
I was never told that in 45 years. But nice try.
So you have to hate everything Wisconsin.
No, I don't.
Well, you do, and so you don't like the Brewers.
So I was told that.
And then the other thing is Because the Brewers are that small market team, they're just like they're like the Twins as far as market size, and that they've just
Except they know what they're doing,
right? And so, and you didn't want to admit that because you wanted to be the Twins so badly. That's why I was like taking candy from a baby. I had watched this Milwaukee team play baseball, and I've been following them, I knew they were going to get to the National League
Championship. I can go back to watching. When the Brewers when they had Hank Aaron and Eddie Matthews.
Well, that was back when they were the Milwaukee Braves.
You have watched a lot of Perry Mason in your time.
Yes, I have.
Because he never lost a case.
No.
And you are very much like him because you just kind of make stuff up as you go along.
Well,
but that's okay. I kind of, it's funny. I get a kick out of it. Yeah. And I was definitely rooting for the Brewers last night.
You were?
Oh yeah. The Dodgers the Dodgers were never like my team. But I think right now with, and that's why I think Seattle is probably going to get a lot of love if they continue to do what they're doing against Toronto, leading 2-0. And Jorge Polanco keeps hitting home runs, 3-run homers off of Louis Varland. It would be, I think people Seattle's never won a World. I don't think they've even been to a World Series, have they?
No.
And the Brewers, you talked about, they beat the Dodgers, 6 times this year during the regular season, but they were playing at home last night, and they got close.
They were. I'm not going to compare Snell's pitching performance to Jack Morris Game 7, 1991, because that was Game 7. It was 10 innings of shutout ball, but he was masterful last night. I stopped watching football to watch.
There was so much going on
when it comes to baseball.
Yep.
I pick my spots with all sports. I'm not going to waste my time with just another Monday night, Tuesday, regardless of what night they play, but when you see a pitching performance like last night, 'cause that's what I like in baseball. I like pitching.
You do.
And Snell was 8 innings, 1 hit, 10 strikeouts.
Amazing.
He was sparkling last night. He scattered 1 hit, as Meat Sauce would say. And
scattered 1 hit.
That's a Meat Sauce.
That is a Meat Sauce line.
And he scattered 1 hit, and it was fun to watch. And if you pitch like that, and play defense, you give yourself a chance to win the ball game. That's
the Brewers got another chance tonight.
They got a lot of chances.
Well, I'm just saying they play right again tonight. It's the only the Mariners, Blue Jays are not. They're on their way to Seattle. But it was. Look at. I'm not saying the Dodgers are smug, but because they won it last year, and you look at that lineup, and it's just stacked, and they hit in the clutch. Freddie Freeman is Freddie Freeman, and they got Mookie Betts to go down the line, and the pitching they brought in the rookie kid to try to finish it off, and he had trouble. I can't remember who was up with the Brewers with the bases loaded in the last inning, but
he struck out.
But he could have taken. There was a pitch that went inside, and your instincts are to get out of the way. But he could have easily, as they said, taken one for the team and just stood there, and they would have allowed it. He had the ball gone off his left knee. I think he was a left-hander. But then the next pitch he kind of chased, and that was game, set, and match. It was over. But only game 1. Maybe they'll bounce back tonight, but. It was a lot going on last night. I don't think my remote, like a lot of sports fans, was getting an extra workout last night.
So you were bouncing around sports last night.
Yeah, I was doing the sports thing, trying to, the wild.
I watched a little Gilligan's Island last night with Deuce.
Well, that's good too. That can break it up a little bit. But I was watching the Bears game mostly, and they came back and found a way. I thought it was going to be typical Chicago Bears. I thought the kid was going to miss the field goal.
No, this is a different Bears team. They have a different coach. They've added to their roster.
Wow.
This isn't much. Well, they've won 3 in a row right now. They're the hottest team in the division. You can't argue with it.
They are. You're
They're
right.
tied with the Vikings.
Yeah, I just still thought they'd find a way.
I think Ben Johnson is. I don't know if he's going to win Coach of the Year. I don't know if he's going to have a long and illustrious career with the Bears. But I just think. I think he knows what he's doing, and I don't.
No, they did get a little lucky last night.
Yeah, they got lucky.
The fumble by Jaden Daniels on their final drive, where it's not Chicago didn't cause that fumble. He just
dropped it in the rain.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they got the Saints at home this week too, Chicago, so they should be in pretty good shape.
They'll be in really good shape. They will be 4-2. Kitties have their hands full. They're going to have to take on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay at home. Mm-hmm. I don't know who Green Bay has. I did not check.
Green Bay.
I feel like they have an easy schedule coming up.
They play at Arizona. I don't know if Murray's coming back, but right now
they seem like they were better with Jacoby Brissett last
night. That's a game the Cardinals can win, but I would expect the Packers to win. They could go to 4-1-1, and then your Vikings club, after a bye week, will be taking on the Philadelphia Eagles here at home. And do you think it's Carson Wentz or do you think it's J.J. McCarthy? Who do you think? You want to see McCarthy?
Well, of course I want to see McCarthy, but he's so. I mean,
he's been practicing.
We don't know if he's been practicing. Yeah,
well, he's been practicing this week.
Yeah,
he was
has.
a full participant.
I gut instinct says it'd probably be Carson, but I hope it's JJ. But he needs he's so far behind the 8 ball. I mean, starting last season. I mean, we talk about the development of these young quarterbacks, and there's been a whole batch of them, of course. And Drake May can understand why New England was not about to give him up in the draft. He's really hitting his stride, and it takes time. And fortunately, JJ lost an entire year last year of having practice. He was a lot of practice for the team, and that's stunted his development, I think, in terms of getting ready for the NFL game. Not like he can't play catch up. It's not like he can't play at this level. But I think if you read between the lines and what KOC was saying, there's the ankle injury. Then there's the mechanics, which he keeps bringing up when asked about the mechanics and the little things that he's still working on. And some of the stuff we even saw at training camp that he just hasn't been able to kind of finesse his way through because of lack of playing time. Then he gets hurt again. So I don't know. I mean, it's KOC knows better than the rest of us. I mean, if he's
does he?
Get a full? Well, I think so. I mean, I would trust that he does, and along with the offensive coordinator, and that they know where he's at mechanically, and also obviously the doctors rely on the health part. The storyline would be good with obviously great storyline with Wentz playing his former team, and the Eagles are banged up. They got to be questioning a little bit what's going on with them. They're not a formidable offensive team as they were, but that's not to suggest that they all of a sudden can't turn Saquon Barkley loose on the Vikings defense and go after him. That's what they're going to try to do. There's no question about it. That's their bread and butter. That's what they've been missing, and that's why they've been struggling. And they can't run the ball. Their defense is banged up. The usual suspects. But I mean, I don't know. It's silly until we see tomorrow and what we see at practice tomorrow and what KOC might reveal, what the reporters who have a little access, a little peek at that. Normally on Wednesday, you'll hear from starting quarterback, but, like KOC, he's going to tell us, the media, the fans, he's got his own timetable, and then he's got the timetable for the media and the fans. So, I don't know what to say other than...
He's starting Carson Wentz.
I would probably think so. I would think he probably would go.
But why would you start? Is it a health thing, or do they don't trust him? They still think they're in this thing.
I don't know.
I think it's because I think at 3-2, you still feel like you. Well, and he was so bad for those 7 quarters. His mechanics are a mess, like you say. You can't, in good conscience, look at the other 52 players and go, "Let's go back in there and let's get our kids some experience."
Especially after the drive that Wentz finished with. I mean, I'm not saying that's the sole reason you start him, but that was an impressive performance that he had. Thankfully, to pull that game out against Cleveland. But it seems like it's a combination. And because McCarthy's just behind, as I said, he's behind the 8 ball with other things. It's not like you can't throw him out there and learn on the job. But learning on the job is not what this Viking team wants or needs right now when they're...
Well, they must have... here's what I don't understand.
Sure.
This is where some people... And this is kind of I guess you got me because... They went into the season with McCarthy was going to be the starting quarterback, so they must have thought McCarthy was going to be, because they invested in the interior and of the defensive and offensive lines, because they're coming off a 14-3 season. Right. They could have had Darnold, didn't want him. They could have had Danny Dimes, they didn't want him. Rodgers, as a professional courtesy and because they're pals, O'Connell had a conversation with Rodgers, but in the end basically said, "Hey, Aaron, love you. Good luck to you, but we're going with J.J. McCarthy. We're going with the young guy." Mm-hmm. So if that was indeed what they wanted to do, I don't know why they would change now then. Other than they feel like, whoa.
This change in the context of...
Well, if you were going into this season with McCarthy, they started McCarthy.
Right.
Well, then...
Why would you not go back to him?
Why wouldn't you not go back to him?
Well, they very well might. I mean, and I think that's the quandary a little bit, only because when you talk about those other quarterbacks who are playing at a much higher level right now, who have a lot more reps, a lot more games, it for the most part just takes time, and the Vikings don't have the luxury of that. At the same time, how do you get those reps? How do you get that experience? By sitting on the bench with a baseball cap on. and then you look at the schedule. The Eagles are still the Eagles. They go, they play the Chargers on a short week, and then on the road, then they go to Detroit to play the Lions, who are still the best team in this division. And it's a tough grind for any quarterback. But you're not going to, as I said, you throw them to the Wolves, you throw them in there, and say, well, go get some more experience because this is what we signed up for. It's just the whole idea that they losing last year really sucked. I mean, for J.J. McCarthy, it just did. I mean, and not that he would have necessarily started all the games, but that put him behind all the other quarterbacks that we're watching right now, pro and con, and that young class. McCarthy's behind all of them because of for no other reason than the fact that he just hasn't had the playing time or the practice time, more importantly. And that's not a reflection on, you got to be patient, as they say. You just have to.
Of those rookie class quarterbacks, or was McCarthy the 5th or the 6th taken? Do you remember? Was it 5 or 6? McCarthy. How many were taken?
He was 5th because Bo Nix went after.
Okay, right. So 5 quarterbacks.
Yep.
Of the 4 that played last year, because they all played, correct?
Believe so.
Yes.
Daniels was the only one that was really, really good, almost start to finish, right?
That's correct.
Caleb Williams struggled a lot.
Right.
You can, for whatever
Nick
reasons, I think part of the reason Williams struggled was because that offensive line wasn't very good. I don't, the coach is gone. He must not be, I mean, look, the head coach of the Vikings says organizations fail quarterbacks more often than quarterbacks fail organizations, and maybe what happened there was the organization failed Williams. He's played better this year. He's got a different offensive coordinator, supposed to be a genius, blah, blah, blah. They have offensive lineup. Yeah. Nix last year, did he start the season?
No. He had a decent rookie season,
year.
yeah.
Oh, it got better as the season went on.
Okay, and then who else? Drake May, was he just...
He had some encouraging moments, but had nothing to work with.
Okay. The team was awful.
And then Penix obviously didn't start.
Right, okay.
But then came on and...
So
he was okay at the end of the year.
Only one guy of those 4 was pretty much really, really good all season. That was one. So what were the odds that McCarthy would have been? I don't know. I mean, from what we've seen this year, I would have said he probably would have struggled to begin last year. Maybe not. I don't know, but...
Probably. As most young quarterbacks do. And that's
it.
That's the point. But now, is this legitimately the starting point for... J.J. McCarthy, the rest of his career? We saw 1 quarter from him so far, and we've seen things. I saw him at practice. There were times like we remember they're out there for those scrimmages they had against. Was that New England this year?
Yeah, joint practice.
First day not good. Second day a lot better. And that was kind of what we've seen so far. And if you can't stay healthy, it's pretty tough to move that needle. And that's why I just can't. I mean, I can imagine anything. I mean, if he has a good week of practice, KLC may start him. If not, you go with the guy who just went 9 for 9 in the last drive, and he's going to be fired up to play his old team and got the experience, and they got bodies back. They're going to get bodies back on their offensive line. They got Blake Cashman coming back. I mean, they at this day and age, with looking at the injury list.
You like this club, don't you?
I'm not. I like this team, but they're not a Super Bowl team. Caliber team right now. They're not. They're just not.
I mean, you mean just for this as we go to this week, or you mean for the season?
Right now for the season.
No, but I mean, do you think this season can still?
Well, they can. I think they'll be a playoff team. I don't see them being an upper echelon team because of for no other reason. I think. Look, Nick Foles won a Super Bowl in our building here, if I recall. So, they're quarterbacks that Trent Dilfer's won a Super Bowl. You can win with...
Brad Johnson's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. And Sam Darnold led them how many wins last year? And then, obviously he had issues
Jeff
in the Detroit game.
Hostetler won a Super Bowl.
So, it just doesn't feel right. But this league is so crazy, and we've watched it time and time again. When you look at the teams, who thought that... Tampa Bay and what Baker Mayfield is doing. How many teams gave up on Baker Mayfield? He's gone through,
a handful. Yeah.
I mean, Darnold's gone through it. There's other quarterbacks in the same situation. So it's the unpredictability. The injuries are great. They even things out to a great extent. Look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia's dealing with a lot of stuff. Jalen Carter. I was just talking to PA. He was working at his desk, which I'd never see. And he was working on...
When?
Literally 15 minutes ago.
PA?
PA was working on his depth chart.
It wasn't PA. It
him?
was somebody that just looked like him or
No,
something.
it actually, I saw
I've
the bushy
never seen him here
eyebrows.
after
I know.
9-10.
That's why I was surprised. You know where I sit and where he sits. And I said, what do you work? Well, I didn't realize Carter didn't play. And he was talking with some guys that are banged up for Philly. And so, that doesn't mean that Vikings, and it's pretty much a toss-up game. The Eagles are
Let me ask you a
favored by
question.
a point and a half.
I love quarterback controversy. My favorite thing in the world. My favorite controversy.
I know it is.
My favorite quarterback controversy of all time was Bart Starr and Tobin Rote. And they went with Bart.
They did go with Bart.
But that was a great, I was a Tobin Rote. And I was a Tobin Rote.
I thought you were going to say Johnny Unitas and Earl Morrill.
No, I was a big Tobin Rote guy.
Oh, you were. All right. Mine was.
Let's say they start Wentz this week.
Okay.
And let's say Wentz is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, Wentz has a game where he's, the old 17 for 25, a couple of tutties, no interceptions, really nice QBR rating. He's not, he's not 40 for 45 for 700 yards, but he's really good and leads the team to a victory. And McCarthy's ankle is going to be better by the following. If it's not ready, I think it's already fine now. But if it's going to be ready by then, do you think they'll go with McCarthy then, or at 4-2 and Wentz coming off another win? Do you think they go with Carson Wentz?
Because it's a short week, I'd be surprised if they didn't go back to continue with Carson Wentz. Because
a short week? What do you mean? One game?
Well, it's a Thursday night game. No, it is one game. Then you potentially could bring JJ in, depending on what happens in LA.
What if in the Thursday night game Wentz is really good again? I'm just saying, what if it is?
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I'm being honest with you. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know what the mindset of both Kwesi and, more importantly, KOC is to say, we got to get this guy under center. And we're not going to do this just in practice. He's got to get game. If he's playing catch-up right now, as I said, missing all of last year really hurt his progress.
If Wentz starts the next two games and they lose them both, there's plenty of time to see J.J. McCarthy.
No, there is. You're right.
Then they would be 3-4.
Yep.
And they would probably be behind the 8 ball.
They'd definitely be behind the 8 ball.
And then you can go, well, maybe not, 'cause maybe Green Bay and Detroit continue to lose. Detroit's not going
to continue to lose. They're too good.
Well,
they're just too good.
How are they going to? Their defense
they lost to Kansas City the other night. That was.
Their defense is in shambles again. Their secondary.
Their defense was in shambles last year, and they won how many? 14 games, 15 games.
They've lost 5 players again.
Doesn't matter.
Secondary.
Doesn't matter. Suspended.
Yeah, one got suspended.
And now that's 6.
But does it matter?
They're going to get beat. Well, yeah, because they're going to get beat by Tampa Bay.
They can put up 41 points, though.
Well, they didn't. They put up 17 the other night. That's all they put up.
Here I am
take
defending the
Lions. Back with a little distat lat. Got a number of other topics to talk to Mark Rosen about here on the Common Man program on the Fan.